All right, folks. Back on the 2007 Triumph 1050 Speed Triple. So you saw in the last video, like I say, I had removed the cam cover, head cover, valve cover, whatever you guys want to call it, and found some disturbing things, all this silicone all over the top of the engine. Not good, some metal flakes in there. So then obviously this motor, you can't pull the top end of the motor off like you can a lot of bikes because the motor is actually part of the frame. So they got the engine mount bolted right to the head. So if you remove that, then the engine tries to flop down. So basically what I got going here is the least invasive maneuvers possible. So basically what I'm getting at is I just loosened up the radiator, leaned it forward, the oil cooler, leaned it forward, and I undid the exhaust and just lowered it down so I could remove the sump slash oil pan. And I wanted to look in there and see what I found. Now I had this thing upside down in the drain there overnight to get all the oil off because I'm going to be scraping this gasket off and putting a new one on. It was just totally full of sludge. There's still some residue there, all kinds of metal, silicone, all kinds of stuff. I actually have all those particles in some bags over here for the customer. But one thing, this is the pickup, okay, which actually goes up inside the engine. There's a little gasket and it just slips in there and that's it. So when I pulled that off of the engine and looked inside of it, now you can't tell here because I flushed it. You may see some, yeah, you can still see a little bit of particles in there. If I move the camera closer, it blocks the light, but there's a little bit. What I did was I turned it upside down and flushed it out and collected all that material. And why I am doing the videos, I'm going to be flashing up the pictures there because I didn't video it yesterday. I was trying to get a bunch done here. Didn't have time to video. So while I'm talking right now, I'll be putting up some pictures of the stuff I found. I found metal, plastic, silicone, hair, wire brush, bristles, you name it was in here. But back to this pan. The reason I'm talking about the pan so much is this bike has 7,700 miles on it, which means it would have only got 3 to 4 oil changes at the most. This thing should be spotless. There should not be this much dirt in here. So the reason I'm saying that is because the story that my customer got from the previous owner definitely is not adding up. So then he thought he remembered the name of the dealer. So apparently the previous owner told him that he just had the bike serviced and all this stuff done. We did see there was a new starter on it. So apparently he had all this work done before this guy bought it. And so I called that dealer and I gave him the last digits of the VIN. They looked it up and they had a totally different story. They didn't change any fluids whatsoever. The bike came in not running and they did a whole bunch of stuff. Starter, regulator, new wiring. You can see here. I wonder why that looks so good. Bunch of stuff. They did get it running, but it wasn't charging. And the bill got up to like 800 and some dollars. And apparently the previous owner went and picked it up. So the odd thing is that this thing is showing 7,760 miles right now. My customer, wrote it some mileage. So back in the fall of 2021, it had almost identical mileage that it has now. So the guy didn't even ride it. He probably, he knew what was going on. It's obvious he knew what was going on. But anyway, so none of the stories are matching up, made the mystery even worse. So basically what I'm telling my customer is, with all this crap inside the engine's knocking. It's definitely been starved with oil because that was the whole point what I was telling you about this pickup tube. That screen in there was completely blocked off with debris, which means there was no oil going up into the engine anymore, or very little. So anything above idle would have probably been catastrophic to the bearings. So this engine, definitely with it being a mystery, finding all the trash and everything, this thing is definitely would have to be taken out, completely rebuilt. We don't even know what's really wrong at this point. I pulled the pan off and looked up in there, and I can't really see a problem. It's just hard to tell up in there. It's not like you can see it. There's a lot of webbing and things in there. So we would have to tear it apart to find out exactly what's wrong. But we already know it's got metal running all through it, which is not good. So that brings us to the update. So basically what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to order new gaskets for this and for the top. We're going to put the motor back together, flush it out the best we can, oil and everything. And the customer is either going to sell the bike, saying it needs a rebuild, telling everybody exactly what's going on here, or we're going to find a used motor locally that we can hear run or something like that and just slap another motor in there and hope for the best, because you don't know what you're getting that way either. But at least if we can hear it running and we can check the oil and we can do all these things, then maybe we might make out okay. I don't know. So that's where we're at with this thing. Sorry about the jerky, jumpy, all over the place video. I got a lot going on. I just wanted to give an update. I've already had a couple people asking about it. Interested in what all I found. So like I say, you'll see those pictures I post up. It's a mess in there. Sorry about the shakiness because I'm holding the camera with one hand and talking with the other and bouncing all around. I tend to do that. But that's where we're at. I don't know, man. Sometimes I just want to wring people's necks, man. This guy knew exactly what was going on when he sold this bike and lied to this customer. And I know, oh, what's a big deal? People do that all the time. If you're a rider and that's how you treat another rider, you need your ass whooped. Plain and simple. So if you're watching this video, buddy, good damn thing you're not here, because I definitely give you an ass whooping. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Peace out.